Swing dancing brings you together. It brings you to a simple time where the rules are defined. One person follows, one person leads, and there's only three things that matter, and it's the music, the dance floor, and your partner. And you just forget everything else. Yeah, it's funny, when I started swing dancing, I was just doing it for myself. And when I first started learning it in a more formal way, it was still for myself. I just wanted to learn to do it the way it was really done. Especially at the time, I did everything else vintage. Why don't I dance exactly the way it was done, to the right songs at the right moment? My great-grandmother owned a clothing store in the 30s, 40s, and 50s across the street from the phone company in Los Angeles. And she kept a lot of it because she was a wee bit of a hoarder. Since I was a little girl, she started giving me those clothes. So I started collecting vintage clothing when I was just in elementary school. By the time I hit high school, I was already wearing vintage clothing. And I found there were a lot of people just like me. We were obsessively watching films. I was already, at that point, learned my eras of vintage clothing, and I wanted my social activities to match what I was wearing. So I learned all the dances from the 20s to the 50s and which outfits should be worn while performing those dances. And I found other people that were like-minded. And this was before YouTube. So we would sit and watch VHS tapes for hours looking for snippets of American swing dancing. And then we would try to record them off the TV, try to make copies, share them with each other, and then learn the dances from breaking them down. And eventually we started finding the old timers that are actually in those movies. We started finding them and they started teaching us the dance they're doing. The swing dancing is bigger now around the world than it ever was. It's bigger now than it was when it first came out in the 40s, and it's held out for a longer duration. The actual swing era is so short and was so quick. The second coming of swing has lasted longer.